Okay guys, so now we're working on what if the partners in center guard are going to choke and punch us. And this one can be a little bit scary. Remember that one of the first ones we showed you is when someone postures up is to kick them away. You know, at any time, if you feel the move's not working for you, because they have this, you should be able to kick them away. So it's just recognizing like, oh, I lost it. And if you lose it, that's okay. And usually it's because you lost control of the arm that's going to do the punch. Now, if that happens, don't worry about it. Just boot the guy away. And I'm sure you're going to see me do it with Jay here at some point. So what we're looking for is I want to control Jay's arms at the beginning. Remember, I don't want him to have that posture. My knees help bring him forward. And now when Jay's going to put a hand on my throat. Now when he goes to put a hand on my throat, either it's most likely because he wants to try and gain that posture. Now if I don't put any pressure on him, he can sit up and there's no tension on my neck. So it's going to be really hard for me to work with this. So what I need to do is pull with my knees. So now when I pull with his knees, when he tries to get his posture, he's going to push a little bit harder. Yeah, he has to meet that posture or meet that pressure. So if I'm pulling forward with 10 pounds of pressure, he has to push back at 11 if he wants to gain a little bit of ground, right? Or even more. So I don't want to pull back so light that I don't get anything. I don't want to pull back so hard that I'm using too much energy either though. So we're here, one hand slides in, good. And now I can just go to my wrist, to his wrist here. My knees are pulling in. He goes to posture back and punch and into the armbar. The key to this one is I need him to punch me. If he doesn't punch me, there's no armbar. Sometimes you can do that this way too. If his head is down and he tries to push, you can go for your armbar here. So sometimes you get a wrist control. Sometimes it might be elbow, and it really depends on where you are. If I'm here, I'm holding on to him. He's putting that hand in. Yeah, all right, now he tries to pull back. I want his pull to help turn me. Okay, so that's the key. That's one of them. The other key is I need to open my guard, and I know it can be a little scary because he's going to try and posture up to punch me, and if my guard's open, I give him a lot of freedom to put a lot of weight into that punch. But if you watch here, I keep my guard closed. Jay goes for his posture and punch. Uh-oh. Eventually he's going to break my grip and my guard's still closed, so this didn't really help me that much. So, when he goes to posture and punch, oh, I open my guard. Here. Leg comes up and go into my armbar. We'll go a little bit more normal speed. There's my armbar, okay? You can see my head, my leg is coming down on top of him. I really, really, really want that punch. When he cocks that punch back is what's going to turn me. So again, here when he pulls this hand back, my guard opens and he pulls. Okay, so again, and he pulls. This is worth working on right there. I want to try and keep my elbow as close to my hip as I can, and I don't want to loosen and be too relaxed. I want to keep this tense here, so when he pulls back, he pulls me and spins me around. So that's a perfect little demo. So we'll go turn this angle a little bit. So I'm here, heads down, he starts to pull in. Right there. I'm still holding on to his arm. If at some point he goes to do it, and you're like, uh-oh, then we're kicking away, and we're standing up immediately. Right, and we want to get away from that situation. So there's going to be those times when you're like, uh-oh, I lost the arms. Likely it's not the one that's on your throat, because that one's serving a purpose. There's two things that one's doing. One, it's giving him some pressure so he can sit up, okay, a little bit of framework. And the other one is it holds your head still so he knows where to punch. Because if it's dark, he doesn't want to miss and hit the ground or hit something else. So if he knows where his hand is, he's just going to punch right above it. So it's a little bit of a target finder as well. So if you lose this arm, the one that's cocking back, punt the guy away. Get out of there as soon as possible. And that little drill that you saw Jay doing, he's pulling my arm back, pulling his arm back and allowing me to spin. That is the biggest part of this movement. Sometimes you're going to do it grabbing the wrist, sometimes grabbing the elbow, and it really does depend on how much friction you have too. If the guy's really sweaty, he might be slipping out of this one. So again, if he slips out, boom, kick him away. Don't worry about that. I do find I like the elbow grip a little bit better, especially if his head is down, right? Because his elbows will be bent. If his head's up a little bit more, you might be going for the wrist. But the idea is when he pulls, you open your guard and spin. Let him do the spin for you. Okay? Have fun with that one, guys.